What's up guys, and Furnape here. Now, I've actually been looking forward to making this video. Not long after I actually uploaded my top 5 favourite anime, which you should actually go watch right now, because there's actually going to be quite a few anime in that list that are going to appear on this one. So I'll give you 5 seconds to go check it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have you watched it? Good. Welcome back. If you're one of the veterans of my channel, you will know for a fact that I was only ever into one anime in particular, which was Pokemon. And I said to myself, I will never watch any anime whatsoever there was no anime possible that could beat Pokemon. However, I started watching a few different animes and I got quite into anime, and I made my top 5 favourite anime. But later on after that, I actually got more into other anime, so that means I have watched enough to put them all into a top 10. So I'm here to bring you my top 10 favourite anime. I'm going over what the anime is about, what my favourite characters are, the story, the plot, and everything about it. So there will be spoilers ahead, so be sure to keep that in mind. So if you haven't seen these anime, I highly recommend you click off this video right now. And yeah, if you don't want any spoilers, just don't watch this until you've actually seen the anime. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section and below which of these is in the top 10 are your favourite anime. And if your anime isn't actually on this top 10 list, I'm very, very sorry. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below what your favourite anime is. And give me some suggestions on what other anime you think I should watch and you think I would enjoy. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10, we have Death Note. Now, Death Note was my 5th favourite anime when I did my top 5 favourite anime, but that's only because I hadn't seen many other anime, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really compare to the others I've seen, so I had to put it down from number 5 to number 10. It all starts when this high school student called Light Yagami finds a mysterious book called the Death Note drops from the sky when he was attending one of his high school classes. Then he found it, took it home with him, and found out that he can actually kill people if he writes down the name of a person and has their face in their mind. So he basically can kill people, or if he feels like it. He uses this power for the greater good, I guess you could put it, because he only targeted criminals. At first anyway, and then he went a bit loony with power and decided to use the Death Note to create an entirely new world free of crime and be the god of this new world. And he's basically copying Thanos, in my own opinion. After a while, he actually decided to make a name for himself. His name, the name he made for himself was Kira, because it was, I think it's the, I can't remember, but I know it's in another language for light. So, yeah, and after a while, the police got involved, and the special police officer or investigator called L got involved to make sure that he hunts down, Kira, and finds a way to put him behind bars or kill him. Not long after he started using the Death Note, Light was actually introduced to a Shirigami, or the Japanese god of death, called Ryuk. And it was we actually find out that the Death Note was actually handed down from Ryuk down to Light. And he explained all of the rules and stuff, and he is basically a travelling companion in a way. But after a while, Light eventually got caught and was killed. Not by the special forces though, by Ryuk himself. I've got to say that this is actually a really good plot, a really nice story, and it's definitely a great binge-watching anime. The only reason I put it from 5 to 10 is because I feel like I've seen better anime than that. Like, my taste in anime has grown so much since I made that top 5, and I just think there are other anime that are better than that. But still, I adore Death Note, and I'll probably watch it again. At number 9, we have One Punch Man. Now, One Punch Man is about how this man called Saitama. He was just an average Joe who was working every day for the rest of his life, and he actually came across this monster who was trying to kill this kid. And he got quite upset about it, so he beat the living crap out of that monster and decided, hey, I want to be a hero. So he worked out every single day of his life. Let me tell you his training regiment. I believe it was 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10k run. Now, that is pretty extreme, and he did that every single day of his life. And because of that intense training regiment, he became one of the most OP characters in anime. So OP, he was dubbed One Punch Man, because he can knock out anything in one punch. But I'm pretty sure the name kind of gives it away. I gotta say that I thoroughly enjoyed watching this anime when I first watched it. Like, it was so funny to see him and have a blank face and was like, it's cool, bro. And he's just so funny as hell. Like he doesn't even give a crap. Like, I definitely say do not make him miss a sales day at the grocery market, because he will kill you without even thinking twice. It's just so funny to watch. Even when the world's on the brink of destruction, this alien guy just comes up and says, I'm gonna kill you! He was like, okay. It's just so hilarious. I highly recommend that you go and watch One Punch Man if you have not, because it's just so funny as hell. They don't take anything seriously. They just make everything look like a joke. That's just so funny. I really like it when people don't take anything seriously, and I'm just like, whatever, bro. It's just so hilarious. I definitely think that you need to go and watch One Punch Man if you have not already, because it is hilarious as hell. At number 8, we have YuGiOh. Now, when I talk about ours YuGiOh, I'm talking about the first 5 seasons, like the original. I'm not talking about GX or the other remakes after that. I am talking about the original series. YuGiOh is all about this kid called Yugimoto, who was desperate to make some friends because he wasn't the most confident kid in the world. And it was around about the same time where he completed this thing called the Millennium Puzzle. And when he completed it and put it around his neck, he unlocked the spirit within, and who was a pharaoh. And his name was a 10, but we didn't know that first until right at the very end of the series. And then they found the confidence to make some friends, and then we I know that there's this card game called Duel Monsters, which is basically the main objective of the whole thing. They compete against each other to find out who is the very best of the best of the best. We find out that apparently Kaiba, who was Kaiba, not Kaiba. This isn't Sword Art Online. Kaiba, who supposedly was going to be the next king of games, as it were, because he had 3 blue eyes white dragons, which was considered one of the most powerful cards in the game. But we didn't know that Yugi's grandpa had Exodia. In the first season of the original series, we actually find that Yugi actually went into this competition where he competed to be the king of games. He actually beat Pegasus, who was the creator of Duel Monsters, and Kaiba because, well, he actually came up with some pretty good strategies, and we actually watch him turn into this half-assed duelist into this amazing duelist. And we to see him grow as a person. We watch him become greater duel monsters. And it was just so entertaining to watch. And it's just fun. It has a great plot and story. And I really like how they involve the Egyptian past. And it's just so entertaining to watch. It took me ages to finish it all, I will admit, but it was so entertaining to watch, and if I had the time, I would definitely re-watch it from season 1 all the way to the final episode all over again, because it was so entertaining to watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching every second of it. At number 7, we have Black Clover. Now, I will admit that I haven't watched too many episodes of Black Clover because I don't have any access to watch Black Clover, because I'm trying to find websites where I can watch Black Clover, but I can't find anything, so I have to end up going around my mate's house so I can actually watch Black Clover, and I've only watched the first 10 episodes of the first season, so I haven't watched too many episodes, so keep that in mind. Now, Black Clover is about this kid called Asta, who is the only person in his world that isn't able to use magic, and everyone else is able to use magic. So, he was trying to become the next Wizard King, even though he doesn't have any magic. But eventually, he had to go through this trial to see if he is able to get a grimoire. And if he's able to get a grimoire, he was able to go on a quest to become the next Wizard King. Unfortunately, at first, he wasn't able to get a grimoire until near the end of episode 1, where he got something called the 5-leaf clover. If you don't know what the 5-leaf clover is, it's a grimoire that's basically got the powers of the devil, or Satan, or whatever you want to call it. Different grimoires have different capabilities. So, it can, different grimoires have their own thing. They can use fire magic, water magic, air magic, so many different kinds of different magic. But Asta's grimoire gives him the power to cancel out any sort of magic with his demonic sword. So that means he can cut through everybody's magic like it was just a piece of paper. It's just so entertaining to think that he doesn't have any magic, but he uses his grimoire to cancel out other magic. So his magic is to not give up and cancelling out other people's magic. That's actually quite cool if you think about it. After a while, he actually got to this opportunity where he could take this exam or a test or whatever you want to call it to see if he has the potential to potentially be the next Wizard King. And basically what happened was his rival, I can't remember his name, he actually got put into the most powerful and the best group possible. There are many different groups depending on your base of magic and skill. Asta's rival got into the best magic group possible, and Asta got into the worst magic group possible, which is actually kind of funny. But we get to see him grow from this amateur to this OP badass, and it's definitely quite fun to watch. At number 6, we have Attack on Titan. Now, I have to admit, I've only watched the first 2 seasons, so I'm not as up to date as everybody else, but I am going to try and find somewhere where I can watch all of Attack on Titan, so that way I can be up to date with everything, and who knows, maybe it'll become one of my top 5 favourite anime. Attack on Titan starts about our humanity struggling for survival against the never-ending war of humanoid giant monsters called Titans. And it all takes place when this main character called Eren actually wants this war to stop after the Titans actually killed his mother. If you didn't already know, Titans are actually human eaters, so they basically eat humans. Yeah, not pretty, I know. But so after that experience, Eren is determined to kill all the Titans and end the war once and for all. And then about a decade later, or a few years, I can't remember how many years it's been after his mother died, he actually went through this training academy to actually become a Titan killer. And he actually he went through some tough experiences, but he managed to get in and become a Titan killer. And then he actually found out he is a Titan shifter. If you don't know what a Titan shifter is, it's basically a human who can transform in and out of transform into a Titan and transform into a human at will. But there are certain conditions you have to meet to actually turn into a Titan. First, you have to cause yourself pain, and you have to have an objective in mind. Do both of those, and transformation is possible. I gotta say, at first, hearing about Attack on Titan, I wasn't 100% sure if I would actually watch it, because I'm not a big fan of gore, if you didn't already know. But after watching it, I think it's actually pretty decent. Like, I think it's got about the right amount of gore for me. Like, I don't mind a little bit of gore, just not as bad as, like, Chucky or The Woman in Black or something like that. Still, it's actually really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed watching the anime because it has a great story, a great plot, and it's just so entertaining to watch. And I highly recommend all anime lovers, you should watch it. It's a great anime. At number 5, we have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, I specifically say Brotherhood because there was actually an original Full Metal Alchemist made in, like, 2002, if that. And to me, it wasn't that good compared to Brotherhood's, so to me, Brotherhood's better. But if you like the original series, then there you go. Now, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood starts off about these two young boys called Edward and Al. They are actually alchemists, so they create something and give up something in exchange. That's the basic clause of alchemists have to obey. They have to do a transmutation circle, and they also have to give something up in exchange, and that's equal value. That's the equivalent of it, the equivalent exchange. Alchemy is also about the laws of deconstruction and reconstruction, but there's also a forbidden taboo in alchemy. You cannot resurrect the dead because it is, well, against alchemic laws, and it's, well, impossible to do. But when and their mother dies due to an epidemic, they decided to give it a go, and well, I can't say the word. They failed, basically. What they did is that they failed. When they tried to bring their mother back to life, it didn't work. Like, it cost Edward his leg and Alphonse his entire body. So they both go into the Portal of Truth where they met God. And they went through the Portal of Truth, and Edward learns the truth. If you don't know what that means, go watch the anime. He then learns how to use alchemy without drawing the transmutation circle, which is actually pretty good in considering. But then, and after that, he actually transmuted Al's soul into a suit of armor, and that cost him his arm. Yeah, it wasn't pretty to watch, let me tell you. So then, both of them go on this journey to try to find a Philosopher's Stone. If you don't know what a Philosopher's Stone is, it's actually this stone that can actually power up anyone's alchemy to do the impossible. Which means, if they use the Philosopher's Stone, they could easily turn their bodies to normal, and Alphonse can get his original body back. It went through so many journeys, and eventually, Edward actually did get his arm back because Alphonse sacrificed his soul being trapped in a suit of armor, so that way he can get his arm back to defeat the main villain in the anime. And then Edward actually sacrificed the use of alchemy in order to get Alphonse's body back. It was so entertaining to watch, and it definitely made me change the way I look at life. It's just so great, so educational, and just so entertaining. And that's why it had to be in my top 5. At number 4, we have Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is all about these two kids called Rin and YuGiOh, YuGiOh, who are both the sons of Satan. If you don't know who Satan is, you're probably living under a rock. And Rin actually finds out that he's actually a demon. and all of his demonic power was sealed within a sword called the Coma Sword. And once drawn, he gets his power back, and he is no longer a human. But eventually, his adopted father was actually killed by Satan, and after that, he wanted to become an exorcist, so that way he can kill Satan for good. So he went into this snobbish school to learn how to become an exorcist. And I gotta say, it's really entertaining to watch him grow from this loser who kept on beating the crap out of people all just for fun, to this guy who becomes a great exorcist, to be quite frank. After a while, Ring actually faced off against his birth father with his younger brother, YuGiOh. And we actually find out that YuGiOh was keeping a secret. He was also a demon, but he didn't want to say anything because, well, he was a coward and he didn't want to die. So they both joined forces in order to kill Satan. And I think they actually did kill Satan, but it's a bit unsure. I'm not sure if they'll make another season of it, because there were 2 seasons. The first one was actually really, really good, and I think the second one wasn't the best, I have to admit. But it was still really, really entertaining, and I definitely think they should make another season, because they left it open for another season, but they just haven't done it yet. But still, it was very entertaining to watch, and I highly recommend it. You go watch it if you're a big fan of swords, fantasy, and, Satan, to be honest with you. At number 3, we have Sword Art Online. Now, I love Sword Art Online because it combines 2 of my favourite movies. Ready Player One and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Those 2 movies were so awesome, and I gotta say, it was quite fun to see them combine the 2 of them and put them into an anime. Sword Art Online is all about this kid called Kirito, whose real name is Kazuto Kirigai, but everybody calls him Kirito, who actually got trapped in a game called Sword Art Online for 2 years. There was no way to escape. If you try to kill yourself, and you die in real life. If your HP drops to 0, you die. If someone tries to attempt to wake you up in the real world, you die. There's only one way to escape the game. You have to clear the game. The game takes place in a place called Aincrad, which is a flying castle, and it has 100 floors. Each floor has a boss. Defeat the boss and you advance to the next floor. If you beat the boss on floor 100 and you actually clear the game, everyone escapes, no strings attached. About 2 months into the game, 2,000 people died already. Yeah, those chances weren't so good. But they actually managed to do an advanced assault team. And Kirito joined on this OPE group called the Knights of the Blood Oath. And they actually went on many adventures, many quests together to clear as many bosses as they could. But they managed, up until they got to floor 75, they found out that the leader of the Knights of the Blood Oath was actually the creator of the game, Akihiko Kayaba. Yeah, Kirito went apeshit. And he actually made a deal with Kirito, a fight to the death, 1-on-1. If Kirito wins, then everybody from Sword Art Online will go free with no strings attached. But if he loses, he dies for good. Well, like in most anime, he won, and the hero usually wins. It was actually a pretty good anime. And we actually find out that his Kirito's love interest, Asuna, was still stuck in the whole trance due to the nerve gear. That's because she was trapped in another game called Alfheim Online, and it went on to so many different games and with so many different series, and it was actually very, very entertaining to watch. I adored Sword Art Online. I didn't think I was going to like it at first, I will admit that. But after I watched it quite a few times, I grew more and more attached to it with every episode I cleared. It was so fun to watch. I love Sword Art Online. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't already, because I definitely think it deserves to be in the big three. At number 2, we have Pokemon. If you didn't know this one was coming, you either haven't been around my channel for very long, or you haven't even read the name of this channel. Pokemon is all about this 10-year-old kid called Ash Ketchum, even though he shouldn't be 10 by now. And he left his hometown of Pallet Town with his partner Pikachu to set off to try to become a Pokemon master. And yeah, it's been around for nearly a little over 20 years, and it still hasn't happened. But still, it's fun to watch Ash go around many different regions, go all over the place, and it's just so entertaining to see him capture all of these Pokemon, because quite frankly, I think some people anyway, I feel like we grow an attachment to some of Ash's Pokemon, a few of them anyway. It's just so entertaining. I personally have an attachment to Ash's Infernape, because, well, I'm an Infernape lover. It's just so entertaining and to watch the anime and play the games at the same time. I just adore Pokemon. It was my childhood. It's my thing. It was my thing. It's still my thing, and I love Pokemon. That is my to be quite frankly, I can't say the word because I'll get demonetized. Well, no, I won't really, but you know what I mean. Still, I love Pokemon. However, there's still one other anime that tops it, but it's not by much. And finally, at number 1, we have 7 Deadly Sins. If you guys didn't see this coming, you clearly didn't watch my top 5 favourite anime. Because it was my favourite anime back then, it's my favourite anime now, and it's probably going to be my favourite anime for the rest of my life. 7 Deadly Sins takes place in medieval Britannia, where we find out that the 7 sinners formed a group in order to fend off any intruders against the realm. However, we actually find out that they betrayed the kingdom, and basically wanted, and they were framed for something that didn't happen, and yeah, they just wanted the sins to die, so they had to go into hiding so that way they could stay alive. 10 years after that incident, they actually were still into hiding, but the third princess of the realm, called Elizabeth, wanted to go around and try and to bring back the 7 deadly sins together, so that way they can stop the holy knights of the realm from taking over Britannia and potentially the world, because they were secretly trying to resurrect the demon race. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So she found the captain of the 7 deadly sins, Meliodas. And they found 6 of the sins in the first season, and they stopped the evil from happening up until a new evil came around, known as the 10 Commandments of the demon race. And then that follows on to the next season, where we find out that the 10 Commandments of the demon race are trying to destroy Britannia and take over the world. And they also want to kill Meliodas, who is the leader of the 10 Commandments at one point. Because, surprise, he's a demon. Yeah, and I've got to say, it's such an awesome season, because we get to see the final member of the 7 Deadly Sins, Escanor, who's basically a demon-slaying badass. Like, he's also just a regular human as well. Like, he just takes one swing of his axe, they die! Like, I'm pretty sure they even die if Escanor just bitch slaps them. Like, that was just so entertaining! I adore 7 Deadly Sins. Like, it's got magic, it has great humour, it's got quite a bit of swearing and just the right amount of blood, and awesome fight scenes and great music. That is just the perfect anime for me, and that is why it's at number 1. And there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and be sure to let me know down in the comment section below what your favourite anime was on this list, and if I didn't mention your favourite anime, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Also, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you recommend some anime that I should watch, because I'm definitely open to all sorts of anime, but only if it's in English dub, because I cannot watch anything in English sub. I'm sorry, but it's just how I am. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Also, be sure to go check out my second channel, Dr. Infernape. Link is in the description. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!